snarky cards. They're brutally honest greeting cards, and usually I sell them from a hangs beneath my boobs in pretty dress guys in pretty dresses at the bar. Today, obviously, I'm in my bedroom where all of the bras I've murdered go. And I was going to show you how I sell a little bit. I like to go table to table in each bar, and I my introduction is, "Hi, I have all these cards about fucking, and you look like you have sex with people." And then people give me their sex report where they say, "Oh, but I haven't had it in a long time," or "I have sex with that person. Does that count?" Or I am married. Those are the four different sex reports that I tend to get, unless somebody is asexual. And I approve of all of them. I'm like, that means that you're a fucker. And you, as a fucker, might enjoy the cards about fucking. This is today's card. It says, "I fucking love your butthole," which is one of my most popular cards. So once they see them and they start thinking about all the different people or buttholes that they've loved, usually they start laughing and it works out. So that is snarky cards. When I go table to table, I do little bits, like I do comedy about the cards while they're looking through. So, I fucking love your butthole. Everybody has a butthole that they love. This is how I started talking to people about their animals. A lot of dog lovers are like, "Well, I don't have a person, and I don't know what my dog's butthole looks like." And every cat person I've ever met is like, "I know exactly what my cat's butthole looks like. I think of that every time Clonopin shoves his butt right here." So I'm really excited that this is live and somebody might watch it and then they might comment on it or like or subscribe to me. So thank you very much for maybe doing that. As you can see, I'm wearing a very pretty dress. Um, I'm going to be showing off some of the pretty dresses I wear when I go out selling. And as you know, or as you may not know, when I'm selling things, I like to, or in everyday life, I like to emphasize stuff with my boobs. So I will be doing that for these live podcasts. Live cat, live videos. Shit, I've been doing podcasts for a while. Okay. So, the next thing I wanted to talk to you about is my lyric of the day. So I don't know if any of you have mental disorders like this guy. I just found out that I'm bipolar, so a lot of the stuff that I've done my whole life that I thought was just fucking weird turns out to be just like my brain chemistry is off. So, one thing that I've never really told anyone about is that I will have the same sound, the same 10 seconds running through my brain over and over and over again. And it doesn't matter what it is. It can be 10 seconds of my life that was amazing, or it can be 10 seconds of my life that mortified me. It can be lyrics, it can be moments in television shows, something I read in a book. It just goes over and over and over in my brain. Sometimes re-listening to it, can really help me like just eject the fucking 10 seconds so that I get a little bit of peace before the next thing my brain obsesses over. In those moments, I'm really lucky because I can go watch the TV show or listen to the music. I still tend to do it over and over again, but it also kind of frees me up, and I get a couple days between the next obsessive thought. So I'm going to just tell you about the lyric of the week. This week's lyric is, "You call me a bitch because," wait, what is it? "Call me a bitch like it's a bad thing." It's really funny that 3 days ago I couldn't stop thinking about it, and today I forgot what it was. Also, maybe bipolar disorder, maybe PTSD, maybe just I smoked too much pot. Who knows? Since I figured out that my brain chemistry is off about 6 months ago, I'm always like, wait, which of the three is it? Um, Anyway, so "You call me a bitch like it's a bad thing" is by Hailstorm. Hailstorm? Yeah, Hailstorm. And Honestly, if there had been bands like that in the 90s, I would have listened to metal. Fuck, if there had been bands like that any time before now, ladies screaming about how they think men are stupid is like my whole deal. But the only people, only women I could find who were doing that in the last 20 years were fucking folk singers. So if you really want some rad, like angry lady metal, Hailstorm, dude. It's for reals. You don't have to just listen to the first 10 seconds like I've been doing because you're probably more normal or your normal is different than mine. Like your brain chemistry that's all fucked up is probably different than mine. Or maybe you're exactly like me. Okay, those are all the options. The next thing, I wrote it all out, you guys, because I really wanted to make sure that this went really good. Okay, so I have Snarky Card Calendars 2022. These I make limited runs of them, so this is part of 100. I only made 100 this year. And the front says, I wish you were a better person. It has a dinosaur eating some kind of hairy leg. That's my leg because I am hairy by choice. I decided a long time ago that shaving is uncomfortable, and so I wasn't going to do it. Okay, so this is this month's calendar. As we all know, February is the breakup month. February 15th is National Mistress Day. You may or may not know that. But yeah, this is the month where people just give up because it's too hard. And I speak from experience because I've tried to sell a lot of cards during Valentine's Day. And they're either happy they're fucking or they're angry they're not fucking. Sorry, that was my Aunt Linda texting me. I still haven't figured out all of the ins and outs of this live video shit. So, if you would like a calendar, I have 12 left. They're $15. You can get them at snarkycards.etsy.com. Get them before... Wait. You guys... May. Sorry, I thought it was March. Maybe it's all three. I don't know. I like to think it's just stoniness. Okay, so May is the I Want to Make You Come month. So get your calendar this month. Comfort yourself for your breakup. Remember that there are terrible people in the world, and you're allowed to dump them. I will give you the way. I will help you. I will help you complete the task. I will help you dump all the people who aren't good enough for you. So, like I said, May, the I Want to Make You Come month. Look at the happy puppy. He's not happy. He's hopeful. He's so into you. You don't want to fuck the puppy, but the puppy makes you feel like that desire, you know? The way a dog wants food is the way you want to hump that person in your life. I guess? I don't know. People always say the puppy's perfect for this, and I thought so too, but I don't know why the animals I draw match up with the words that I choose. Honestly, most of the time it's random because I have to draw 3,000 or 4,000 images in order to complete in order to totally marry them with all of the different things I've written. I've got about 500 cards that sell well, and I do frontsies and backsies. So at least 1,000, but I keep writing new shit. Anyway, yeah. Hopefully the puppy appeals to you. Okay, again, $15 at snarkycards.etsy.com. Okay, so then I would also like to talk to you about pop culture. I have some ideas. Today I want to talk about Bennifer. Okay? They're two 55-year-olds in love. It's weird to be butthurt about the elderly sex in Sex and the City and the elderly women in Sex and the City, and then to just get super excited about those two other older people who are having sex. I don't understand the dichotomy. I don't understand why one is okay and the other is not. Um, I really actually think that it's really funny that Ben has been in love with the same two women over the last 20 years, and they're both named Jennifer. You know, like, that is awesome. Those poor nannies in between the Jennifer and the Jennifer. I mean, it sounds, he can't learn more than one name, right? That's what I assume. There are a lot of Jennifers in the world, especially for our generation, but still, you could have found another one. Literally, in my youth group, there were like 12 people, and 6 of them were Jennifer. So I understand that there's a plethora, but Jesus, Ben, you have the pick of every woman in the world. You could have found 2 different names. Okay, I think that the best part about it is that means we all know who his third wife will be. She'll have to be under 40 because I think we all know the third wife is the youngest. Her name will be Jennifer. And she has to be ready to party down with that old man smell. Because remember, his next relationship is between him 55 and 75. He tends to have like 10 to 20-year relationships. So you have to get ready. I mean, even rich dudes have an old man smell. You have to be. Do you really want Ben Affleck from 55 to 75? I don't know. I don't. Honestly, though, I kind of think he peaked at like 8. He did the show called Voyage of the Mimi, and it's my favorite. Okay, let's see. Okay, I have the next thing I'm gonna do. It's called Too Late for TikTok. I watch a lot of TikTok videos, and I always want to stitch, which is if you're elderly, stitch means add your own video, and I'm always too late. By the time I watch them, nobody wants to stitch anymore. They've all said everything they're going to say. So, I've got a list of things that I wanted to add to the stories that are being told on TikTok. The first one is it says, "Do you have a subtle power move that you use on the regular as a woman in order to make things even for men?" And I wanted to tell you about my thing. It's not subtle because nothing I do is subtle, but it totally works. Okay, I was in high school in the Bay Area, right? And when I was in the 90s, dudes didn't hug back then. Guys only started being able to hug each other, gonna say 2001, 2002, definitely after the towers fell. So in the 90s, instead of hugging, guys would, so, so, like I see you, I acknowledge you, chin lift up. Um, oh, thanks, color flies. I love you too. Okay, so people would do that, like, and not people, just guys, right? I thought it was hilarious because women hug, men just, what's up, what's up. So so I just started doing it, like, to make fun of them, but it confuses the fuck out of them because even if you're a girl, to the chin thing is kind of universal. I'm gonna fight you, maybe. uh Body language, which I guess I just didn't realize as a teenage girl. So when you do that on the street, men get a little bit confused. If you're feeling vulnerable, if you're feeling worried, looking men in the face, looking people who scare you in the face can sometimes help, but that chin wag, I don't know what to call it, like head jerk, totally works. It totally makes them be like, "Oh, I don't know That's like a fight. I didn't want to, you know. But the other thing I loved that I came up with in the 90s because I thought it was funny is that if the chin wag isn't it, if that's not a friendly chin wag, if you're gonna do that, but you don't you wanna you might want to fight. You want to make sure this dude isn't intimidated. Like you want to make sure you're winning. So do the chin wag, and then you go, which I guess now is like the universal fight symbol. But in high school, it was just like a hilarious thing for me to do to guys I didn't know. Psh, come on. Um, Either one of those. They'll work. Not subtle power moves, just power moves. Okay, like I said, I have a script. Also, in that time when I was starting to do this, when I greet guys, confusing boner, which is kind of my deal. Confusing boner is the best way to move forward with life, at least for me. I don't know if you guys have ever tried it, but it definitely makes sure, like, it ensures that no man will try to hit on you. Believe me, confusing boner. Not something uh that will create fire in anyone's loins. Okay, the last segment I wanted to do. Oh, let's look at some more calendar pages. Okay, again, 2022 calendar, snarky cards. There's a big snarky card in every month. And I definitely, okay, June is my Mikasa is Sukasa, my stash is not your stash. So, obviously it's June, so I said happy Juneteenth, happy Pride. But I also wanted to let you know I have all the holidays here. So Islamic, Jewish, Catholic, Christian, what else is there? Hindu, even some pagan shit. So I wanted to tell you, right? Shavuot, the Jewish holiday of Shavuot, is Sunday the 5th of June. Just to show you, I got them all here. 2022 calendar, only $15. Keep the snarky cards with you all year round. Okay, here it is. The happy birthday month. It's always July because that's when I was born. I'm sorry I'm such a dick all year. You're not as ridiculous as I always say you are. That's I wrote that for me, hoping somebody would say it to me. So I think I'm really fucking smart, especially on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at snarkycards.etsy.com. Oh, that's my snarkycards.etsy.com. Snarky Card Chick is my Twitter handle. Sorry, that's me. There's a new thing on Twitter because I like to go on there and argue with right-wingers, or sometimes I like to go into trans people who are, like J.K. Rowling fans. And trans people are really, they're beaten more, they're sexually attacked a lot. Trans people have a lot of fear, justified fear over their safety and over defending their lives. So, as somebody who's not trans, but who has loved trans people, I like to go into those spaces and explain why they're upset to bigots, because I don't have trauma around it. I can explain a lot of things about it. So it's not for everything, it's not always as noble as defending trans people. I think that I was like making a joke about Joe Rogan having a black friend, somebody, anyway, on Twitter. And this guy comes on and he's like, the bitch with multicolored hair doesn't like Rogan. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's a weird thing to say. Not because I don't have multicolored hair right now. Like, I usually do. But it's a weird thing to say because pretty much everyone I know, like corporations hire people with multicolored hair now. It's not even a thing really anymore. Um, I couldn't figure out what the fuck was happening. It's not the first time it's happened to me, especially on Twitter, where people are like, of course you're a communist. Look at your hair. And I would say my boobs and the way I display them, even though I'm an elderly person, it's probably more of a giveaway that I'm a liberal. But I finally realized it baffled the fuck out of me, and I finally realized I have heard this multicolor hair bullshit before in the 90s when we were still dyeing our hair purple with colored, like with food dye, right, in order to get it right, because there wasn't any hair dye yet, because all of the grown-ups thought that hair dye meant that you were smoking crack or or I think that was really, they were just worried about drugs maybe. Yeah, I think it was just like you'll never have a job and you're going to do drugs. Either way, it's a night, like the people who are like who are telling you that you're definitely a communist because of your hair, they're fucking they've got to be elderly. That, like, these are the same people who said it 30 years ago. So what? How old are they? Like, all these trolls are apparently in their 50s and 60s. I didn't even realize that people that old could get on Twitter. So once I realized that this was like an insult coming from a boomer, I just gave up. After that, I saw the most important Joe Rogan tweet. It says, being mad at Joe Rogan ain't gonna get you health care. Thank you, brutal regime, for that. So before I give you the final snarky card, I wanted to give you a cool reminder that this week 15,000 people died from COVID in the US, which also brings us to today's snarky cards. I love you, and I hope you don't die. Something that we all need to say to the people we love, but especially this year when a lot of people are dying. So get vaxxed, get boosted, wear your mask, make sure that everywhere you go is ventilated, and thanks for coming to my channel. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that subscribe and like button. This is really exciting. I hope I get to make more videos, and I hope someday someone watches them. If you want to, like I said, if you want to leave comments, I'm super excited because I can't go to bars, but I can interact with you guys. Thank you for listening to me.